Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving right into the infrastructure of our autonomous future. AI is evolving at breakneck speed, right? It's writing code, it's executing complex workflows, it's even managing finances. But right now, it has a massive blind spot. We're going to unpack a strategic investor pitch for a company called Payphone by Dial and explore how they're building the missing communication bridge between AI systems and the human world. The entire premise of this pitch hinges on one really stark reality. Software can now act, but it cannot reliably reach people. Just think about that for a second. Today's AI agents can research information, deploy software, ping APIs, and initiate financial transactions all on their own. But they hit an absolute brick wall the second they need to reach a human being. When an autonomous agent needs to ask for your approval or escalate a critical issue, it's suddenly forced to rely on communication systems that were built entirely for manually managed companies. Current platforms like Twilio or Cinch are absolute giants. They're incredibly powerful and process billions of interactions across global carrier networks. But here's the catch. They were built for human developers and massive enterprise scale, not AI agents. So when an autonomous system needs immediate programmatic access to just send a quick text message, this legacy infrastructure creates massive friction. It is essentially like forcing a high-speed machine to go wait in line at the DMV. To put this in perspective, just to send a single message today, a human developer has to jump through a 10-step manual process. We're talking verifying emails, punching in physical credit card numbers, doing carrier registrations, and manually provisioning phone numbers. But autonomous software? It needs something completely different. It requires machine-native provisioning. Agents need a communications layer that is instantly available, programmable, and natively compatible with machine-to-machine payments. So enter Payphone. This is the telecom layer built specifically to bridge that machine-to-human gap. It gives agents, apps, and businesses immediate access to real phone numbers, two-way SMS, APIs, and webhooks. But what makes it really wild is that it integrates Model Context Protocol, or MCP tools, and machine-compatible payments like the X42 standard. Practically speaking, this means an autonomous system can actually use prepaid credits to just buy its own phone line and text you directly, without a human developer holding its hand. But what does this actually feel like for us, the end users? Well, it manifests as a feature they call Mainline. Let's be honest, we are all completely swamped by social feeds and low-priority app notifications. Mainline is an opt-in, urgent communication layer designed to cut right through all that noise. The goal here absolutely isn't to send you more notifications. It's to provide a trusted, secure route for information that is actually important enough to interrupt your day. Things like critical security alerts, sudden logistics changes, or urgent financial approvals. Let's walk through exactly how this looks in practice, because this is the absolute heart of the pitch. Imagine an AI treasury agent is about to transfer 18,500 USDC to an external wallet. That is a high-risk action. So the agent pauses because it needs a human sign-off. Instantly, Payphone fires a mainline text message straight to your phone. You see it, reply approve, and Payphone catches that structured response, formats it, and pings it right back to the agent to finalize the transfer. It's a seamless, fully auditable human control loop, and the whole thing happens in seconds. Okay, so the big question, is anyone actually paying for this? Well, Payphone launched publicly back in April and has already generated just under $50,000 in revenue this year. Now, in the grand scheme of massive venture capital numbers, that might sound pretty small, but for a pre-seed infrastructure startup, it is a huge deal. It provides undeniable early validation. It proves this isn't just some conceptual white paper. Real developers and AI ops are actively pulling out their wallets and paying for programmable, agent-native telecom right now. And because of this early traction, Payphone is actually being spun out of its parent company, Dial. It's becoming its own highly focused commercial business. It gets its own dedicated legal entity, its own P&L, a totally distinct product roadmap, and a dedicated operating team laser-focused on AI developers. But crucially, it still gets to heavily leverage Dial's powerful foundational technology, especially when it comes to wallet identity and programmable payments. And because it's built on top of Dial's tech, the monetization model here is entirely unique. This isn't just charging a fraction of a cent per text message. Payphone allows companies, or even the AI agents themselves, to charge for premium alerts, monetize inbound requests, or even reward users for taking verified actions. It literally turns standard telecom into a programmable two-way economic layer. You can send incentives right through phone workflows, or simply price your urgent access high enough to completely kill spam. So where exactly does Payphone sit in the market? Well, they've carved out a very specific sweet spot. Traditional CPaaS providers absolutely own the carrier layer. They have the massive global reach, but zero agent-focused workflows. On the flip side, modern AI agent frameworks have all the workflow logic, but they don't own the telecom delivery. Payphone is building the critical control plane right in the middle. They own the native human approval loops and machine payments without trying to reinvent the underlying carrier networks. Looking ahead, their 18-month product vision is honestly super ambitious. SMS is really just the entry wedge here. They're starting with programmable messaging and human approvals over these first 6 months, but they plan to quickly expand into giving every single AI agent its own dedicated identity and team routing capabilities. And as we look out 12 to 18 months, they're building toward full voice agent handoffs, identity verification, and global telecom orchestration. To actually execute that roadmap and hit institutional scale, a venture play like this typically models a target seed round right around $1 million. This is the capital needed to transition from that early raw revenue into repeatable product-led growth, allowing the team to hit those major product milestones and really lock down the infrastructure layer. In structuring a round like this, an illustrative pitch models a standard 10% equity offering. The key takeaway here is actually the approach itself. They are presenting a very standard, structured software infrastructure play. Notice there is no speculative crypto jargon here. It's designed to signal a grounded, highly commercially focused business. This scale of investment models out a post-money valuation of $10 million. But rather than relying on pure hype, this valuation is fundamentally defended by that existing, validated revenue we talked about earlier. They've already proven that their bottom-up beachhead market actually exists because developers are already paying for it. Having a live product generating actual cash shifts the entire conversation firmly into commercial execution. Now, their go-to-market strategy for scaling this is actually fascinating. They aren't just going out and buying banner ads. They plan to fund dedicated developers and actively build AI search visibility through huge communities like Reddit and Hugging Face. The genius here is that when a developer asks an AI coding tool like Cursor or Claude to recommend a communication API, those AI models will instinctively recommend Payphone simply because of its massive visibility in the training data. It's literally using AI to distribute a product built for AI. It all distills down to this core thesis. As software becomes more autonomous, communication becomes critical infrastructure. Payphone is building the trusted line. It's an incredibly compelling vision of where the tech stack is heading. The only question left is, how long before you get your very first text message from an AI agent? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you in the next one.